And welcome back, everyone. Your instructor, Dr. Rodriguez, here with the ladder logic uh, principles course. And I have another example here, which is a start-stop system with a feature called the jogging. The jogging on this relay schematic, it's a way to exactly do that. Jog the system so that it doesn't automatically energize or retain the circuit on, but it will only work as long as you're pushing that jog device or button. Okay, so this is the jog. One more time I have to say, and I'm going to bring this back: never ever connect loads to a control device such as a PLC. PLCs are low power devices, and they will usually be able to control the control portion of a power system, and by that is very low voltages, typically 120 volts, and even lower level voltages are used for that. So just a reminder every time I come up here that the control device such as the PLC is never connected to huge loads that will demand more amperage than what the system can drive. Okay, so having said that, here is the schematic, and what I've done is I converted this into a ladder equivalent, and here's my ladder equivalent. It's already at work. And if you notice here, this is just similar to what we explained in the previous example one, with an addition, which is the jogging device. In this case, what is that we have? We have the stop, we have the start. We're using a bit-based instruction, binary 3, which actually comes from this binary table right here, right? That's where that one comes from. And I just uh, use the first bit. These are internal instructions to the computer that you're able to do things to control that. And of course, I'm using that as a form of retaining the seal. And in addition to that, I'm actually feeding the circuit with the same bit instruction so that the circuit is energized. But because I want to be able to do both, use the automatic start stop and also jog the system, I have to make a little bit of a different configuration. In this case, in addition to the stop and start and the physical output, the blue pilot light, I also have the jog, which is a third input. All right. Now, the way the jogging system works is that only when the jog button is energized is when the system will be on. Otherwise, the system will be off unless you energize it via the start-stop system. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and test it. Once again, I have PDF files for you so you can have them, and I also will provide you the ladder logic schematics so you can replicate them. Okay, so let's go ahead and download this. And once again, I show you last time that there is a feature here. It's called the verify project. You're going to use that, and notice here on the lower hand side, when I click and there is changes to verify project, and if I do that, it says verify has completed, no errors found. So we actually are diagnosing the design and making sure that nothing is in conflict or bad here. Again, this is a 5 instructions, 3 physical inputs. Actually, it's 4, right? It'll be the button, stop, start, the jogging, and the output. That'll be actually 4. All right, 1 physical output, and then 2 retention seals, or 1 actually, because it's the same bit. Anyhow, let's go ahead and download this one so we can test it out. Once again, I'm using my hardware this time. You're very welcome to buy your own hardware or use your own simulation software, which is the emulator that I show you where you can get that software from. Okay, so here we go. We should expect that this one will work in a way like the previous one, which is start system, right? System running, and then stop the system. All right, so start and stop. But in addition to that, we have a jogging feature here, which basically it will energize the system for as long as I have this kind of, there's a loose contact right here. As long as I have input 3 hold or held, the system will be energized, right? When I let it go, the system is de-energized. And that's what the jog feature in a control system does. It allows you to momentarily hold that. For instance, imagine that you have a machine or a conveyor that you want to position a certain way. You need to be able to hold on to that while you're positioning that, but you don't want the system to be automatically energized, such as in this case, right? You don't want that because it'd be hard to be doing this. So the jog feature is really a nice feature to be able to control something so you can position it where you want. And once again, this is an application of start stop with a jog system. And it was based on this schematic, right? Where we have stop, start. In this case, we're using electromechanical controls, which we have replaced by bit instructions, and we've replaced by the output elements that we have in here. So anyways, we're gonna have to stop this one. The video is probably getting pretty big. No, that's pretty nice. Nice video, short. We can talk a little more. And you notice there can be a few changes between the relay schematic and the ladder program. For instance, we don't have the overload element on the ladder program. Now that can be included if you wire that overload element in the wiring system that you do with the control. And one more time, I have to say what I've been saying. These control devices are used to control small loads or the control portion of a circuit, not the big load. In other words, you hardly ever connect a motor directly to the terminals of the controller. As I said before, you're going to fry it. These controllers are low power devices, 2 amps, and you need to read the manual for instructions on what kind of loads you can connect. But I wanted to say that you have to be mindful of that. All right, where is my pointer? All right, I want to close this. All right, come back to my ladder program to wrap it up. Once again, I will provide you with both PDF files of these and also the ladder programs so you can play with them and modify them and do whatever you want to do. All right, so this is the start stop with a jog feature on it, and I'm pretty sure you can replicate this. Just play with the software, add components, modify it, test it out, see how it works, and then go from there. Right, your instructor, Dr. Rodriguez, with the second application example, the start stop with jogging. We'll see you back in just a little bit.